Greetings, Stalkers, and welcome back to our Grymm Mansion. I am your impatient host, Weird Aldrich, and I am joined tonight and all nights
by Abomination, who used to have patience. Guy with a robe.
with the what?
With the robe.
Oh, I thought I heard rope.
Rope. Also that, yeah, maybe. Let's not get into details.
Okay. Tonight, we go back to a time that should have prepared us better for what we lived through a few years ago.
Mm-hmm. That is true. I think, yeah, it's quite almost like a premonition of sorts. Maybe.
So,
I mean,
we bring it back to the movie that kickstarted an entire revival, we could say. Even though it was a little bit, if it was a little bit unintended. Tonight we talk about 28 Days Later. And so our candles are lit, the circles have been closed, and the words of power have been recited. Let us begin tonight's gathering. I don't know why my voice is going into fry so much.
mine is also
Let me have some water.
yeah, we just the summers are always difficult for us.
Yeah.
You did mention like it is sort of a revival. Well, it's not really. I wouldn't say it's a revival. More of like a reinvention, maybe. Because I think this is really like the movie that kickstarted the zombie craze.
Yeah, the zombie fever.
Zombie apocalypse craze of the 2000s and 2010s as well.
We can talk a little bit more about it in our analysis, but to start things off, there is this scene of what seems to be a laboratory where animals are being tested on. What appears to be some sort of vaccine against what the scientist describes as rage. They just call it rage in the movie, and we can make our extrapolate whatever they mean from there, but let's just keep it as rage.
Yeah, it's in monkeys specifically. Like I think chimps.
Chimps, yeah, probably because of their close relation to us.
Yeah, they have their they have them in like cages, like glass cages, with like these. There's one that's in a table that has like these all these sensors and whatever. Someone breaks in, like these masked people break into this lab.
We can assume they are like PETA or something associated to sort of, animal rights.
Yeah, it's sort of
extremists.
implied that these are like the animal rights activists, terrorists kind of thing, and they're coming to release the captive animals, and the scientist who's there warns them like, don't do that, these are infected, the monkeys are infected. And they don't care. They want to, like, the girl opens one of the cages and the monkey immediately jumps her and bites her.
That's what chimps do. We talked about it in previous episodes.
No,
how
but these
malicious chimps can be. Yes, and it's a chimp with steroid-powered rabies, essentially.
Yeah, she gets infected, and it takes only like 10 seconds.
It's a matter of seconds.
And you see her eyes change color and the scientist immediately grabs, I think he grabs like a chair or something. He says like, we have to kill her, but it's too late, and it has begun.
Yeah, we can essentially call her patient zero for whatever is about to happen. But this is not the focus of the movie, because the real protagonist lies in a coma somewhere around this time. Jim,
Yep.
he a bike courier got hit by a car and hit his head on the pavement and has been asleep for what we assume to be 28 days at least. And yeah, he wakes up naked in an hospital bed with no one around him. Everything is kind of just thrown around. He finds absolutely no one while walking through the hospital halls, the hospital wings, or through London itself.
Yeah, he does get a Pepsi, which is nice.
Yeah, the refreshing taste of Pepsi is the first thing he drinks. It tastes after.
Yeah, but it's... Yeah, this is maybe the most iconic scene in the movie when there is... So we have London, we have London Bridge, the Big Ben, which isn't actually called Big Ben, it's called something else, but people call it Big Ben. So all these familiar London sites, but everything is completely deserted. There's nothing, no one.
The first sound man-made that this guy hears is an alarm car as he tries to open the door of a car.
Yeah, a car that's in the middle
of an intersection.
Yeah, of an intersection. So like something has happened. Like there's trash all over. There's just cars like badly sort of like abandoned basically.
We know what has happened, right? Yeah, but it's tragic because this guy doesn't.
Yeah. This guy's learning for the first time. Like he sees a wall of reports. There's a newspaper that says like the city has been evacuated because it's been like an outbreak. There's been like something that's really f***ed up has happened here.
Yeah, it hasn't. Like the last newspaper and the last broadcast that was sent out was like saying, London is being evacuated. It's probably like too late at this point because that the entirety of the island has been reduced to small heaps of small semblances of communities, as we're going to quickly learn.
Yeah, he enters a church. I don't know if he's religious or not. It's not really established. He enters a church, and in the pews, there's like a bunch of dead people, presumably all dead. Then he calls out, hello. And some of the people were not dead, and they look
about 3 heads turn.
But they don't look like normal people.
They seem hungry.
They seem animalistic, and the father, or priest, or pastor, depending on I don't know. I think it was a priest. I think it was a Catholic one.
He did call him father, so.
Okay, I mean that's both. I think I don't know. He shows up and he tries to bite him. He walks in a very weird, kind of jittery way towards Jim, and Jim, I think, smacks him over the head with something and then runs away. And then just a bunch of other infected show up and start running after Jim. And then there is someone who throws a Molotov cocktail to the infected.
Yeah, he finds a couple of people outside an abandoned gas station, and they seem to be targeting the infected with these makeshift cocktails. They are calling Jim to safety. They are using words, English, from Britain, something that to him must have sounded like music, I guess. And I think they essentially blow up the gas station to distract whomever was chasing them, right? These two guys, Mark and Selena, are survivors. They have their own backstories, but they cannot believe that, initially, Jim doesn't know a thing about what's going on. So conveniently, they explain to him and to us what has, in fact, happened. The idea is that after knowing all this, Jim decides that he must see his family. He's like, I'm sure that they're alive, that they're there somewhere, they made it. I must go see them.
Yeah, and they they have to wait for morning because they explain to him that it's just either so you don't go out at night unless you really have to, unless you have no choice, basically.
Yeah, the rules that they have.
And so they wait for the morning and they walk to his house, and he finds that his mom and dad have presumably committed suicide by overdose, maybe, or something.
Yeah, they mixed medication and alcohol, something that
and
is
they
sure
and
to
they're
get you.
and they're dead in their bed.
The powerful thing about this is not the fact that they're dead, but the message that they leave in a picture of a young Jim so they're lying in bed, their corpses already pretty rotten. Like, it seems clear that they have chosen to go on their own terms.
Mm-hmm.
And they're embraced and they're holding a picture of a young Jim. And on the back of that picture, Jim finds a message saying, "Dear son, we left you sleeping. Now we join you. Don't wake up." It's something to that effect. I'm not exactly quoting it right, but
no, I think you got it pretty accurately. Yeah.
Regardless, it's so powerful. Just like we're like 30 minutes into the movie at this point.
Yeah,
not even that, I think. And
Jim is just
already destroyed.
Broken. Yeah.
He's already been to the deepest of pits, and we're right there with him. The feeling in the pit of your stomach after you read that message is...
Yeah, just like thinking that they think that he's not going to make it, right?
That would have been the best case scenario, considering
they were
everything.
Expecting him to not make it, and and at least he would have missed all of this stuff that happened. Yeah, it makes you think. Like, it's quite tragic. It's pretty up. But then Mark tells him, "No, trust me. What you had was like actually a relief." Because he then explains that he saw his own infected in a crowd, and he explains like what happened, and like he's just like, "Trust me, you got the easy way out. Actually, just like your parents regularly dying." Because I think it's implied that he actually had to kill his own father. So
they've been here since the beginning, so they're accustomed to the grittiness that this new world has brought upon them. And that becomes very clear during the night.
So Jim can't sleep, obviously, because he's just... I mean, I wouldn't either. If I had humanity left, of course. So he goes ahead and he plays the mom's favorite tape on the TV. What a mistake that was. Because that attracts... He actually recognizes these people. They were supposed to be their neighbors. And yeah, they're infected, and they jump through the window and attack Jim. And of course, Mark and Selena immediately wake up and start slashing these infected.
One of them, if I remember correctly, one of them falls in through the sunroof.
Yeah, it was just like an ambush type thing. It was just all at the same time too. I wonder how intelligent these infected.
Extremely clever. The scuffle ensues, and Mark is infected. Like, he has a very clear open wound in his arm that he's desperately trying to clean. And Selena doesn't even give him time to explain himself. She immediately starts hacking at this guy. It kills him right there and then. She essentially tells Jim, "I would do the same to you in a heartbeat."
Because even though Mark didn't say a word, she says she could see it in his eyes. Yeah, and it just establishes that Selena, and this is why they've made it. She has made it for this long. She's just like completely in this state of just like survival, pure survival. Just do anything you can to survive.
Yeah, that's her motto, right? If not here, a bit later, she says that living or surviving is good enough.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho.
Yeah, they do find a sign, Christmas lights atop of a building, so they go check it out.
Yeah, they're kind of blinking in a pattern, not like somebody forgot them on. I think at this point, nothing would be still left on.
Yeah, it's very deliberate.
Well, to get into the building, they have to go through a little bit of
barricade.
They have to climb through some shopping carts and a hole in the ceiling, which attracts a bunch more infected. And Jim gets his first taste. Wow, she wasn't kidding. When I think he's hurt, he's feeling dizzy because, he's a skinny guy and he's got no fat on him. So he's got a headache.
Yeah, they haven't been eating properly, so he's got like a sugar crash.
Crash, essentially, yeah. And these infected are getting on him, and he's getting behind. when she reaches the top of the stairs, she finds this guy in like full riot gear with a shield, who's telling her to pass, like, and follow the whatever to whatever door. And inside, she finds a child. Who at first refuses to open the door, but she's looking for daddy and wants to make sure that everything is safe. And this relationship at first seems kind of weird. Maybe it's from all the movies that you have this preconceived notion that this guy is up to no good, but
yeah, it's
go on.
Basically they're so happy. I think that's what makes it what throws us a bit off, is that they seem so happy to see Selena and Jim.
To find other survivors, essentially.
Yeah, but if you put yourself in their shoes, I mean, you don't know this family, but yeah, if they've been holding out for this long at the top of this building, like, they probably haven't seen anybody else.
That's fair. They're holed up.
So they're like, and she's a child. He's a grown man. There's like I guess a new family that they found. It's I don't know if you can call it family, but it's like at this point, it's like you have two new people. It's double the people.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
But it is kind of weird because, like, our instincts, because we've
yeah. We also kind of have Selena's not skepticism, but cynicism, actually.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how their reactions actually differ. Jim's reaction to these family versus Selena, because Selena is like that. It's just like
naturally suspicious. Everything goes smoothly until the next morning, when Jim and Selena realize that they will be more of a help to this couple. Not a couple, I'm sorry. It's a father and a daughter. Yeah, Anna and Frank.
Yeah,
Frank. And Frank has a radio. He has a radio that he's been fiddling with, and he found this frequency in which a message is being repeated every so often. I guess about a place where they have salvation from the infection, where they will be safe. And Frank obviously wants to take Hannah there, but can't bring himself to do it alone. Yeah, as if something happens to him, she's alone. She's a child.
Yeah, and he's been he's created this kind of makeshift cisterns on the roof to try and catch water, but somehow it hasn't rained in 28 days in England, which is not common at all, but it does happen.
It is the end of the world.
No, but it does happen. Sometimes it doesn't rain. Sometimes it's quite sunny, actually, but
yeah, it just didn't. It wasn't sunny. The weather is pretty much
it's cloudy
overcast
because that's just it's England.
Yeah, but yeah, regardless, they decide to drive. He has a cab that he kind of outfitted with some modifications to take everything that they need, and they have to make it to. I was trying to find something witty to say about Manchester, but they already have enough on their plate as it is. They have this choice between a safe but longer route and obviously the worst choice. So they go with the worst choice, which is a tunnel under whatever. I think it's some.
I don't know, but it
doesn't matter. It's a tunnel.
It's a tunnel that has a bunch of cars just piled on it.
Yeah, and obviously they're blocked.
He just decides to just run over, like break through by force, by just ramming.
Conveniently, there's a ramp of cars that puts his cab over the other cars, and they conveniently only puncture their tire on the other side of this barricade.
And they barely, because they this obviously wakes up the infected, and they barely manage to get out of there with a new tire, change the tire and get out of there. Just a little inconvenience, nothing too major.
There's a little scene there's a little scene before they get to Manchester where they get to camp, the four of them, and act out being a little sort of family. But this is an important character moment for Selena, as she comes to realize that maybe surviving isn't everything in this new world. Maybe she can aspire to do something more. And with this in mind, the next day they keep driving to Manchester, where their hopes end up being empty.
Yeah, so first of all, the city is like burning or having several
Yeah.
active fires for some reason. Well, I mean,
No,
it's
the
just
entire city is burning. You get to see explosions of probably more gas stations in the distance as they're driving towards it.
yeah. They get to this supposed location, and there's just like there's nobody there. There's some cars. There's some like remains of stuff that people left there. I guess some buckets, but there's just nothing. There's just no one there. And Frank starts to get a little nervous
Angie.
and frustrated by all this because they even like Selena even says like, hey, maybe we should go, and he's like, go where? Because I mean, yeah, where would you go? Like they need something. They need water. They need supplies. They need a place to be. And he thought this was it, and this is not it. There's this crow or this bird that's backing at a dead body that's on top of like a door, like a big metal plate. And he out of frustration, she just kicks this plate, and a single drop of blood from the corpse falls on his eye, and we know what this means.
He knows what this means.
He knows exactly, and it is a really up scene because his daughter sees him kind of struggling, and she is asking if he's okay, and he says, "No, I'm okay," trying to basically just get away from her, but she's pulling him because she's worried, and then he jumps her to try and make her get away from him, and then he starts turning. But before he can do anything, he gets shot by a bunch of rounds of gunfire that come from the bushes.
Apparently, the army was still here or around. There's something in this barricade that calls the guys, this army group, this retinue, whenever someone new arrives at the barricade. It's like an alarm, or they take them back to the base, to their like a mansion, a makeshift mansion. A makeshift mansion? What? It's a mansion that's their sort of makeshift outpost.
Yeah, they've conquered this mansion. They've made it their castle, let's say it. And so this is the military. This is just like they have a bunch of guns, they have a bunch of equipment, a bunch of cars, like armored vehicles, and they are led by this, I guess, general, this commander called Henry West, something like that.
Yeah, I mean Henry, Major,
the Ninth Doctor.
Yes.
And they are greeted with sort of some celebration, I guess. He invites them to a diner. He explains almost everything. He kind of explains what they're doing there.
Sort of, kind of.
Yeah, he says that the cure for the infection is just basically just hold out forever. Basically just try and outlive the infection itself. So they have a bunch of layers of, it's the military. They have a bunch of layers of like defenses. They have like landmines and turrets all around. So they just, every night they go and they shoot a bunch of infected, and they then celebrate and go back drinking and stuff like that. And Henry actually shows that he has captured one of the infected, and he's keeping him chained up in like the sort of back alley, and he's trying to learn about the infection by just watching him and seeing like if he starves to death and things like that. And it's obvious Chekhov's gun, but
it quickly becomes apparent that the Major's motivations weren't totally clear from the start. It seems that through sexual advances that seem to happen over the course of their stay, especially after the nightly raid that you mentioned, when the soldiers' adrenaline would be at their highest, he admits to Jim that they were woefully underprepared for whatever the happened, and that these are the remaining survivors. He expects that no one outside of their holdout, or even in Europe.
Yep.
That there's the world has stopped, that everyone is dead, and he must restart civilization. And he promised his soldiers women in order to do so. He offers Jim a choice. You can either stay. What was it?
Well, it's just basically just like either you let us have the women, so Hannah and Selena in this case, or you gotta get out of here. You gotta just scatter.
It was like you can stay, but they can't go. That's what I was trying to say.
Exactly. Yeah, they have to stay here. They have to, to fulfill this promise, and it's just like it makes perfect sense because like these people, like these soldiers, like they need something to fight for. They need a morale boost, and like what else? How was he gonna morale boost these guys? Because they were almost like some of them were gonna kill themselves if he didn't do that.
This is how cult start.
Exactly. But yeah, this is it's a pretty fucked up situation because now Selena and Hannah are basically taken.
Anna, who is a minor.
Exactly. There's one guy who protests and defends them, and effectively he and Jim are basically, they're arrested, they're taken to jail, sort of jail, I guess, makeshift jail. And that's where the guy, I actually don't remember his name, he starts like rambling when he's chained next to Jim. He starts rambling that it doesn't make sense that the entire world has been destroyed by this infection.
The onset of the disease is too fast.
Exactly. Like it could have. There's no way it could have made it all the way like across oceans. So
if someone is sick, they would never have time to sit on a plane, stay on a boat, and carry it across the ocean.
So he believes that it's only Britain. Britain is infected, and the rest of the world has quarantined them. And so all of this is basically just pointless. Like this whole like holding out and whatever and like restarting civilization. So it's all bullshit, basically.
And it kind of turns out to be true, because when they're taken to execution and this soldier essentially sacrifices himself so that Jim can escape, Jim does notice contrails.
Yeah, he notices a plane in the sky. So
this fills him with determination to go back and save Hannah and Selena.
Yeah, this is the part of the movie where he goes and
this turns into Rambo really quick.
It takes a page from the infected playbook, and yeah, they go crazy.
Well, essentially, this guy manages to infiltrate himself back into the mansion by drawing them out through the barricade, and then releasing the infected that the Major had kept chained into the house. Essentially manages to pick the soldiers one by one and save Hannah and Selena.
Yeah, it's a pretty crazy action sequence. The Major is the last one. He was hiding inside of like a
Frank's car,
an armor vehicle, and he
the cab that they came in.
Right. You're right. Never mind. He shoots Jim in like the stomach or something, and then Hannah, who is driving the thing, manages to back him out and get one of the infected to grab and pull the Major out of the car, and then they feast on him, and then Selena, Hannah, and Jim drive away and crash through the barricade.
And so another 28 days later, Jim is sort of recovered. Selena and Hannah seem to be working on fabric, or Selena seems to be working on like sewing some sort of fabric. And Hannah rushes in through the door saying like, "Oh, it's here! They're here!" They all rush out with these large sheets, essentially spelling out the word "hello" in the grass.
It's kind of funny and weird. Because they're doing this one letter at a time, and they started writing, it makes sense, HELL, and so it just spells hell, and then they come in with the O, and they put the O down so that the plane can see, but it's just like I don't know what the irony of it is. Maybe it's just like turning
There,
hell into
the
something else. Maybe I don't know.
the I think it was more of a visual pun in reference to what Jim has been through. Like we can just go into analysis from here and start from the end,
Yeah.
because this guy woke up in hell. He lived through hell, and by the end of it, you thought he was going to die again, right?
Yeah,
He gets shot, and that should be the end of it. But it's interesting that Selena says that she's a licensed chemist. So I don't know if how much of like if she's even trained to get a bullet out of someone, but I'm sure that she's be more than qualified to stitch someone up and have enough pain meds to keep them and antibiotics to keep them actually still alive.
Yep.
And so that visual image of hell was like for maybe does the movie end here? No, it doesn't. But then it also explains to you what the visual means. I don't know. That's my very superficial interpretation of it.
Yeah, because they end in this this nice kind of shed in like a field. So they've managed to get into like a safe place. I don't know what kind of safeguards they have against the infected, because like there's some around here. I think this is like maybe like in Scotland or something. I don't know. Maybe not. They couldn't have walked all the way to Scotland. It's not possible. But I guess it is safer than being in a city. But yeah, I don't know how they managed to hold out for this long. But the truth is, they managed to track the planes. The whole thing is essentially, and it's a massive. I think the biggest character arc really is Selena's, who goes from a sort of this callous survivor type that's just gonna do anything.
The ends justify the means, and if the end is my survival, I'll do anything for it.
Yeah. Because she almost kills Jim, thinking he was infected when he entered the mansion, and but she hesitated enough to see that
it took her longer than a heartbeat. That's true. Exactly. I forgot to bring it back to the line that she speaks at the beginning of the movie.
So basically, she kind of learns that there is more to it than survival, and she, I guess now is it was really just Frank's death was really the thing that put her over the edge, that essentially kind of broke through that layer of callousness, I guess, to reveal the.
Yeah, she definitely would have not been able to kill Frank, first because she was holding Anna down. Second, Frank was a really big guy, and he probably would have killed all three of them. Considering that Jim only had a baseball bat that he used to kill a small child in self-defense too.
A small infected child.
Yes. But
yeah.
But I agree.
There's a shift there. I think that's the turning point. And I mean she was already she already had sort of. Kind of weird, like how
they went shopping, they camped, they had picnics together, they were watching horses, they bonded. It was no longer about survival, because for Hannah and Frank, yes, it was survival, but they would have never done the same thing that Hannah or Selena did. That Mark and Selena were doing, or Jim and Selena, because they had a bond with each other,
Yeah.
The first thing in Frank's mind when he was infected was saying, "I love you. Get away from me."
Exactly. Yeah. It's just it was a completely different attitude towards the situation.
It was the opposite.
And ultimately, it just showed Selena that like there has to be a point to it all. Like survival itself. You like survive why? Essentially.
If you're just gonna keep running and there's no goal, why are you running in the end?
Yeah, and so she learns that there is a goal, or she creates a new goal for herself, or for
life was already meaningless before this apocalypse, lady.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like what has really changed, other than
just a situation.
Mm-hmm.
And in the end, this movie is great because of that. It focuses on the people, and the zombies, as I'm reluctantly calling them here, are just backdrop.
Reskin zombies.
No, but they're just backdrop. They're doing exactly what they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
What they're supposed to be doing in movies like these.
Yeah.
They're supposed to hold up a mirror to us.
Mm-hmm.
They're just there to explore these intra character moments.
Yeah, I think that's moments. I think that's really the thing that this movie brought to the table that changed the genre. I think is this, right? It's this point, and also the the zombies or whatever. They are as you said, like they're not really a villain. They're not really the enemy. They're just a.
I think this still started before that. I just, again, as we begun as we begun by saying, is it reminded people that it wasn't just the Draculas or the werewolves. It wasn't just this singular entity that was there to scare people, like in the slasher movies, or there was this whole genre of post-apocalyptic fiction that was to be tapped, that was untapped for this new generation of cinematographers. Yeah. Because
True.
Romero was doing this, yes, but in the late 60s, when he started the Night of the Living Dead, the types of stories were the same, yes, but the scale at which you can do them and the audience that you can attract are in a scale completely unthinkable, right?
True.
And that is noticeable because of just how influential 28 Days Later is. And you can see it almost shot by shot. You've seen this movie in other media.
Yep, true. Didn't this also kickstart Cillian Murphy's career? Like it wasn't that
probably
big.
Not his first movie, but maybe what made him.
Maybe what made him.
Yeah.
Big and become the actor that and kills. Anyway, also this movie could never have been made in America because the military are the bad guys.
I wanted to. Shot by shot, I've seen it in other places, like from the moment that Jim wakes up in the hospital. That is copied by in the comic book of The Walking Dead to the TV show, or
very, very iconic.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same. Or the rules that you see copied also in stuff like Zombieland, to a much comedic degree. Obviously, they're a bit more fleshed out over because it's one of the main points of the movie. Are those rules? All these little snippets that you've seen in other places.
Yep.
To think that this was like a small independent movie, that it was not even meant to be about zombies.
Yep. Yeah, and I want to touch the it's not even like the not zombies part, because actually in a way this is more. I like what they did here, because there's always been a problem with the idea of zombies as like this the typical zombie apocalypse that we're so familiar with, which is, are they dead or are they not dead? Because
I remember that Night of the Living Dead, the creatures, the zombies with the ghouls, they were called ghouls, were animated due to
so they're
radiation. I think it was from radiation from Venus.
Okay. Nice.
Radiation from an exploding space probe
Wow.
returning from Venus
Wow,
that caused the reanimation.
that's
But
contrived as hell. Okay.
yeah, but think about the implications. Venus as being the morning star, it makes sense if you think about it.
It's like raising them, because like hey, wake up. Okay, I see. But it's but what I'm saying is like, so you have these undead, so they are dead, they're corpses which are reanimated, but like I don't know if you understand where I'm coming from. It's like to make it a zombie apocalypse, because zombie apocalypse has this element of like infection, like it's a virus, like the zombie eats you and then you turn into a zombie.
But yeah, you have to die, and when you
So
die,
so
you
you'd
come
have
back.
to die from the infection to then turn you into a zombie, something like that.
Hmm.
But then it's like, so then you kill a thing that, it's just the whole concept, like you need, like there's not really like a base that makes sense. You kind of have to, in your own setting, you have to sort of create a justification as to how this works, and like you need to create specific rules.
Are we talking
Because
about movies or about what we do? Because I feel like you're answering your own questions, or you should know the answer to these questions. The way you do it is not the same way I do it,
yes, I'm
but they're
not.
still
Yes,
zombies all the same.
well, kind of. Well, I
It's
guess
so okay. Think
because
about the
there's
philosophical description of a zombie, as in there's no
no consciousness.
conscious,
Yes,
there's no conscious
no
processes
spirit,
happening
no
in
soul.
that gray matter.
Yeah, but like the way that you, like, for example, like if you animate like a Frankenstein's monster, for example, which is a sort of the type of stuff that I do. It's different
Yes,
from
that
a
you are.
zombie that I
Yeah,
am. Well,
you are not a zombie.
no. I'm not, right. I do have a soul. I do have a consciousness. So no.
Yes, but you are Promethean.
Yes. Uh, but it's a little different because I think the classification should be different. But regardless, that's not. We're kind of
Yes, that's why I
deviating
said
a little bit.
Promethean and not
Uh
Ghoul.
huh. Right. The
Wraith, Spectre, Revenant.
But what I'm saying is like it is interesting the solution that this movie found. I think it like of all the versions that I've seen, this is the one that makes, I guess, the most sense for the
Yeah.
type of movie that it is, because it is an infection, it's a virus. And so it just being like a disease that consumes you. And mind you, this is basically just like mega rabies. Like it's
It is just mega rabies. The way that the scientist says rage makes it seem like it was summoned from the deepest abysses, and that it was conjured by magic, foul dark magic that nothing can dispel it. Bro, you made superpowered rabies.
exactly.
Like
And
rabies
it's
itself is already scary.
yeah, and I think it makes it much more believable, because like we know of some f***ed up diseases that exist in, yeah, and I know. We're gonna talk about it, but uh
Don't talk about it.
um but it's like, what was I gonna say?
Exactly. My spells are working.
Damn you. No, but it's a lot more believable, because like there's yeah, like it's just, we know what rabies is, we know what cholera is, and things like that. Like to imagine a disease that just like takes over your body and makes you a mindless like animal, like that just, it's not that far fetched in real life. Um, and and it would obviously, if it were to pass down to humans, it would have to come from a mammal, probably a chimpanzee. So that may just
We
it just
return to the age-old dilemma or question or whatever you want to call it of any scientific breakthrough or theory or application of science that is sufficiently advanced for a mind that does not comprehend it is indistinguishable from magic.
Mm-hmm. George Orwell.
So
No. H.G. Wells. Sorry. What the? That was a. I think I got
yeah,
some violent.
we need to start thinking of older brains for you. You can't keep going for rotted content.
Yeah, true. All the names are mixed up. Um.
But yeah, I kind of agree with you. I mean, I tend to look at these with suspension of disbelief anyway.
Yeah, I
Um,
just like to
and
to to
it
be like
doesn't.
very objective about like the like how realistic it would be in real
Sure,
life, and I feel like
sure.
this one is quite like from other from other movies of the similar nature. I think this is might be one of the most realistic. But I do have to say that the way that the infection starts is like one of the most stupid premise. Not like, how do I say this? It's so shameful and so stupid and so dumb that it's PETA that starts all this. Like they just go in and they just get infected. Like what? So, it's pretty embarrassing, and I hope they go to well, they probably died. They probably all died. So I mean, honestly, they also shouldn't be having these chimpanzees like in these cages. I understand that they were trying to find a cure for the disease or something, or vaccine, but like if it's so easily transmissible to a human, maybe just don't do that. Maybe just like kill them all. Try to extinguish the disease like that. I don't know.
I don't know, but I can tell you that I got an itching to rewatch Shaun of the Dead after this.
Mm.
It's almost Halloween.
Well, a couple months, but yeah.
What's a couple months to people who have eternity?
That's true. That is true. Um,
Uh, anyway, is there anything else you want to say?
uh, I guess it was just like because there was one question that you asked that I thought was a good question. When we were watching the movie, which is like, why don't they attack each other? Why don't the infected attack each other? And I think that it's my
Might have
headcanon.
said that.
My headcanon is that probably it's like there's like some kind of, like any good virus or disease, like it wants to spread. So it wants to do, anything it can to just spread, more easily. So it's going to prioritize the ones that are not infected. So, to spread. So there's probably like some kind of smell or way that it identifies who is and who isn't. Sort of my explanation. I don't know. Just trying to give the movie
Mm-hmm.
some more
Okay.
credence. But anyway, that's just for people who like me, who like everything to make sense. But it's just a movie. After all, I understand. Suspension of disbelief. Yeah, I think that's kind of it. I mean, I don't. Do you have anything else to say?
Oh, yeah, that's pretty much it. It's
The acting
almost
is,
perfect, except
it's
for the kid. Yeah.
yeah. I actually tried to figure out who the actress who played the kid is, and like she's not even on Wikipedia. She's like a she's like a stunt actress. She's not even, which makes sense why she's not that great of an actress, I guess. I mean, of a child actress, I know, because she's probably like older now. She's probably older now. What am I saying? But anyway, yeah. Yeah, her acting is not great. Uh, but the others are good.
Yeah, the other guys are like well-known actors, or at least the
Mhm.
characters that have most screen time. It's Cillian
Yeah,
Murphy,
of
Naomi
course.
Harris.
Yeah, and we already mentioned the cinematography is really iconic, and everybody like copies them, or
Yeah,
not everybody, but.
super gritty.
So
Almost
yeah,
almost found footagey. Almost.
yeah, it has this appearance to it.
Mm-hmm. At the beginning of the movie, especially when,
Mm-hmm.
as you said, the most iconic scenes of the London Bridge and the souvenirs of Big Ben on the floor.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It does have
I,
a
f- I find it
Blair Witchy
crazy.
feeling.
Yeah, I find it crazy how they managed to like, because this is real footage. Like, how do they manage to like evacuate like central London for this? Like,
That's the magic of movies, isn't it? They made you believe that they evacuated London.
True. I mean, obviously there's camera tricks going on, and they might have
Yeah.
like CGI removed some people. I don't know, but it just, man,
I don't know how powerful CGI was for an
yeah,
indie
yeah. I don't know. I feel like they. I feel like
director
they
in the
didn't.
early 2000s, but
No, but it's really. I think yeah. No, it's crazy. Very well made in that sense. But yeah.
it is possible that they've got some clearance from municipal hall to from city hall to close off sections because the shots do seem to be early in the morning.
That's also true. That helps. Yeah, that helps.
So, right before things start to get hot.
Although London is quite a, it's a city that never sleeps. But maybe in 2004 it wasn't like that. I don't know.
This to me is a 9. I really like this.
9. Okay.
Especially considering how influential it came to be.
9 monkeys out of 10 machetes.
That's cool with that.
All right. To the honors.
With the candles are out, the circles have been erased, and we will let silence reign again. The Grymm Mansion is closing its gates. Have a horrible night, and until we meet again.